Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-January 2022 video for the zodiac sign of Cancer. Totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month or a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find this video when you need it. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you the message on the cards as well as any intuitive messages I receive. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising though to get the full picture of what's going on. In column number 1, we are going to take a look at what's happened in the last few weeks or potentially month. So things that are wrapping up and coming to a close for you. In column number 2, we're going to take a look at what's going to happen in the remainder of January. Then we're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from your future self or spirit guide, so something to carry into the end of January. I'll also do 3 yes or no questions for you, a healing note, and we'll talk about your crystal of the month. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in, Cancer, and get started. The card that we have is renewal. So likely there was some renewal for you in the last few weeks. This could be a renewal of hope. This could just be renewal with the new year being into 2022. But let's clarify and see what we've got going on. Alright, all good things to be leaving behind, Cancer. The first card that we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is a card of low energy. It's kind of like a feeling of being at rock bottom. This is like the everything is fine but nothing is really fine card. So a lot of you are probably feeling tired and a little burnt out. The nice thing is that this is in the past energy column where things are coming to a close. So you get to move away from this not very happy place, that kind of rock bottom place. Then we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is having to defend yourself. It's kind of protecting yourself against competition. Again, this is something we get to move away from, which is good feeling. So some of you might have felt like you've been on the defense lately, having to kind of protect yourself. At the bottom, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of like tradition. It's very conventional. It's about expectations. So some of you might feel like you haven't been meeting expectations and now we get to move away from that kind of feeling. First, we're going to clarify that. This very well could be the renewal. So some of you could feel like you've already moved past this, which is a really good feeling. I love that we have the Death card and the Sun card. How wonderful is that? With the Death card, it doesn't at all mean death, but it is a card of big changes. It's ending, it's moving on, it's transformation. We have the sun poking through in the background there, which is very positive, which is wonderful, because if we're at this rock bottom, this is this place of transformation and getting to make a big change. So I feel like a lot of you have had like really low energy, and we're moving away from this into a much more positive position. So stay hopeful if you haven't felt that yet, but you are going to be renewed. You're going to be moving on to a new path, getting away from that Ten of Swords, getting away from this Seven of Wands type energy. Then we have the Three of Wands. This is a card of teamwork, commerce, expansion, travel. I do think that this is like, again, just expanding away from this. You could also have somebody else on your team helping defend you too. That sounds kind of odd, but you may have some support that you didn't have before too, so you'll be in this less defensive position. There's more partnership there. And then we have the Sun card at the bottom. Love the Sun card. This is material happiness, joyous outcome, and success. So you're going to move from this position of like being at rock bottom to this very abundant, joyous, happy place, this very successful place. Again, I was saying that some of you with the Hierophant were like not meeting expectations, and now this will absolutely be exceeding expectations. So looking good there. Now let's take a look at how January is going to end. If you haven't felt this really positive shift yet, Cancer, you're going to. We have the card of absence. So this could be you feeling a little bit isolated, or this could be the absence of whatever was causing this rock bottom. We're going to clarify and see where this takes us. Okay, so the wand energy is coming through pretty strong. I do want to touch on that really quick. Wands are fire signs. It's also very creative. So I would think that a lot of you are going to have a very creative time going into the end of January. But let's read through these. The King of Wands. This is very bold. This is very leader. This is very powerful. It's also like courage. So you might be having courage to take on something new. But very much so a leadership card, a very strong card. And this is representing you, Cancer. So then we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited, very creative. I'm getting that you like can take on anything. These two cards paired together, I'm getting the message that like you can do anything, really, honestly. You're going to be able to take on anything that comes your way. Then we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is kind of a card of loss or depression. It's kind of a low feelings card. It can also be surgery for some of you. We're going to clarify this. Again, the message with these first two cards is like you're going to be able to take anything that comes your way. We're going to clarify what the energy is, though, with the Three of Swords at the bottom there. Alright, so we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is moving away from something. It can be a card of like a bad relationship, theft, dishonesty, betrayal. But this is you. You've like gathered up your swords, Cancer, and you're moving on to something new. That's on top of that King of Wands card, which again is very powerful, very charming. You're like moving into this state of power. Again, I was saying you can take on anything that's coming your way. That's just solidifying that message. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a very money-driven card. It's a card of leaving a legacy. It can mean retirement or inheritance. There could be money coming in for some of you. But this is also like a very long-term card. When we think of leaving a legacy, that's something that's ongoing. It's long-term. So I feel like there's a long-term shift going on. I think that this can validate for you, Cancer, that you're on the right path. And that's on top of the Knight of Wands, which is, again, very creative. I would say if you have a creative idea coming up in the end of January, pursue it, because I do think it will be long-term very beneficial for you. Then at the bottom here, we have the Wheel of Fortune card, one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. It's a card of good fortune, luck. Some of you could be gambling. This is a good card for gambling. But with the circle here, this is like a turning point. So I think this is, again, just echoing back to this other column where we were in the low feelings. You're leaving behind these low feelings. You're at a turning point where you get to move forward from this. So again, if you haven't felt this renewal, this shift yet, it's definitely coming for you, Cancer. So looking good into the end of January. Now let's take a look at money, anything related to finances. This could be your job, career, investments, really anything money. And let's see what messages we have here. We have the Empress card to kick off. This is another creative card. It's a card of abundance, though. This is a good card. We always want abundant cards in our money column. We'll clarify this a little bit further, but the creative energy is still coming through. So you might be having some sort of creation situation around your money. We do have the Five of Wands. This is a card of rivalry or challenges or obstacles. It's interesting with this card, though, they're like fighting with wands. It's not like they're fighting with swords. This is like a minor hiccup. So you might have like an obstacle or rivalry that's going on at work. Going into the end of January, we'll clarify that a little bit further, of course. Then we have the King of Cups. This is a very supportive card. This is a leadership card. It's a tolerant card. So I feel like a lot of you have like a good leader is the message that's coming through here. Maybe if there is some sort of rivalry or challenge with a coworker, your leader is going to be very empathetic, very understanding, very supportive and tolerant. But let's clarify the message here. We have the High Priestess as our first clarifying card. The High Priestess, excuse me, is a card of like kind of secrets or mystery. It's about having your intuition, though, and trusting your intuition. So you could be finding truth about something, but it's like trusting your intuition. trusting yourself as you go forward. It's on top of the Empress. That's again that card of creativity and abundance. So make sure that you are trusting yourself. It's not so much about secrets or mystery here, but this is like trust yourself that you know how to move forward. As this creative idea comes up, make sure that you trust yourself enough to pursue it. That's what the High Priestess is telling us. Then we have the Queen of Wands. This is very confident, very self-assured. What I'm getting is like you know that you're right in this argument or this rivalry, or you know that you're doing quality work. So just keep being you, Cancer. Don't let this, whatever this Five of Wands situation is, don't let it derail you. Don't let it throw you off. Again, I was feeling that you were supported on the leadership side, so just keep doing you. And then we have the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, courage with the lion on there, self-respect. This is just solidifying that you're supported, so don't let this, whatever this Five of Wands bump in the road, don't let it bother you too much. You're doing right, you're well supported, everything's going to work out just fine for you there. Now let's move into love column. So this could be relationship, single, married, family, children, really anything related to love. The first card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is having lots of choices. You see there's 7 different cups, and each of those cups is full of something else. This could also be a card of commitment issues. So some of you could be the one having commitment issues. You could be in a relationship with somebody that's having commitment issues. We're going to obviously clarify this card and see where it takes us. But you could either feel like you're having lots of options on the family relationship front right now, or there could be some commitment issues. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is again a card of good fortune. It's the card of luck and gambling, but it's also a card of turning point. We have the wheel here. So I would say most likely for these commitment issues or having too many choices, this is going to be a turning point. Like you're going to, let's say you've been dating a couple of people, you're going to pick the one you want to go with. Or if you're not sure what direction you want to take your relationship because you have lots of options, I think you're going to make that decision. You're going to have that turning point. Or if there's somebody with a commitment issue, there's going to be a turning point there as well. Again, we're going to clarify though. Then we have the Four of Cups. This could be like a card of not feeling fulfilled. It could also be an unexpected gift though too. That's what that fourth cup is there coming in. But some of you could potentially not be feeling fulfilled with your current situation. But let's clarify and see what we've got going on. We have the Five of Pentacles. This is a card of worry, of isolation. So some of you, again, commitment issues could be somewhat isolating yourself, or you could be worried about this commitment issue, or you could be worried about the direction you're going to go in. Again, we had that Wheel of Fortune, so I think whatever you decide to do is going to work in your favor. It's going to be that turning point you've been hoping for. This is just confirming there's been some angst, there's been some worry. Some of you could have been isolating, whether you have the commitment issues or the person that you're interested in having those commitment issues. Then Cancer, we have the Five of Wands again. You have those two Five of Wands next to each other. This could be a rivalry, challenge, obstacle. Again, it's small because it's wands. It's not like we're fighting with swords. We're fighting with wands. There could be some sort of challenge. However, this is indicating that we're getting over the challenge. Again, the Wheel of Fortune's that positive turning point. Again, I do think it ties back pretty heavily to that Seven of Cups, where it's a commitment issue or just having too many options and kind of not knowing what direction to go. At the bottom, though, we do have the Star card, which is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. This could even be like a miracle card, honestly. So I feel like if you're feeling unfulfilled, this is going to be very renewing. You're at this turning point in the relationship, which is really wonderful. So now in our fifth and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guide. So this is something for you to carry into the end of January with you. So let's take a look here. We have the card Shift. So there's going to be some sort of shift going on for you, Cancer. Shifting's good. Shifting's making sure that we're staying on the right path all the time. But let's see what message. Well, that just solidifies that shift is going to be good. The first card that we have here is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. So whatever's coming for you is going to be very, very positive. You can see all these people celebrating in the back. It's a very successful card. It's a very celebratory card. Overall good things coming. There's going to be some sort of victory, some sort of good news, something worth celebrating. Then we have the Four of Swords. Sometimes the Four of Swords is a card saying that you're tired, that you need to rest. In this case, this is a card of renewal. I feel like whatever the shift is, whatever the success is going to be, is really going to renew your energies, Cancer. We were talking about that in column 1 as well. We have renewal coming through. Then we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is waiting for results. I feel like you've been waiting for this shift for a while now, but it's finally here and it's going to be wonderful with our Six of Wands. But let's clarify and see what we've got going on. We have the Chariot card first. Somebody once described this to me as the vroom vroom card. But what this means is it just means things are moving. There's action and change happening. You're on a journey. The nice thing about the Chariot too is oftentimes you don't know where you're going. But even if you don't know where you're going, the Chariot is saying like you're on the right path. So even if you're moving forward, you don't know if you're moving forward in the right direction, the Chariot's telling you that you are. So I feel like this shift, this action, this change, again with the Six of Wands, is going to be wildly successful. It's the good news you've been hoping for. It's the success you've been hoping for. It's that kind of victory we've been waiting for. Then we have the Three of Pentacles, another celebratory card. It's a teamwork card, collaboration. It's a positive card. Again, I just feel like the renewal is coming through very strong here. It can be like a card of teamwork and collaboration, so you could be supported. Maybe you're getting new support, or somebody could have been supporting you through this shift. Then we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is, again, a very tired card. If you look at this person, they're carrying all of these wands, and they're super overwhelmed. Their head's hanging low, and they're, like, crying into it. It's a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. This is a shift we get to go away from, though, which is wonderful. And again, we have the Two of Wands, which you've been waiting to get away from this point, and you finally get to. So that's really, really exciting, Cancer. I think this looks good. One of the best readings I've done for this month. So I hope you're feeling that in January. At this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them. The first card we have is the Ace of Spades. This is number 37 card. That question is going to be a no. Question number 2 is the Six of Diamonds, the number 51 card. That's going to be a no. And then we have the Jack of Spades for question number 3. This is number 52 card. This is going to be a yes. You have no, no, yes, Cancer. Earlier this month, I did pull a card from the Healing Stones deck of cards. The card you got this month, your stone of the month, is carnelian. This helps with discovery, it's vitality, but carnelian gives you courage for those everyday challenges. It really helps you handle things with ease. And last but not least, Cancer, we're going to do a card from the Healing Notes deck. We always can use more healing. Your healing message is you are a courageous person. We had lots of courage cards. That makes total sense. Thank you so much, Cancer, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this reading resonates with you. If you subscribe, you'll be notified when I post new videos. And I do typically post a couple Cancer videos a month. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. Thank you again, Cancer, and have a wonderful rest of your January.